Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 75 of the SWW Show. It's me, AJ. I got Mike along with me, as always.
Test, 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 test. 1 2 1 2.
We're recording this on a Monday, which we don't normally record stuff on Mondays unless we absolutely have to. And, yeah. A little kooky.
A little kooky.
Little
hey,
post
stuff happens. Time happens, time's but an illusion, as they like to say. And some of us leave for a trip next week too, so we're going to get a little funky on schedules. But
well, and I guess, admittedly, we record a lot of SWW shows on Mondays.
Yeah, because for you also works too, because it's Tuesday, you tend to be busy. So for my day, for you, it kind of works well.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a Monday. It is the SWW show. I was kind of giving AJ a little preview here. It's not a good story here, but people might appreciate it. Yeah, my ear is currently wrapped like a bandage where I look like Donald Trump, at the RNC currently with my ear, because I don't know what happened. I scratched it too hard and I started gushing blood earlier. But it is really funny though when I didn't say anything. So my girlfriend's really busy at work right now. So I took a snap and I just sent her that picture with no context. So remember this. Don't hear from me for hours, 24 hours. Literally within 5 minutes of that picture, I have 8 texts from her asking what happened.
Yeah.
That was my night because it's
are you going to have some miracle drug that, heals all signs of it in a week or whatever it was?
No. See, actually, one step further, when she gets home with it, in a few hours, I should, have my ear will, somehow make it so it looks perfectly fine. Just what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yes, that is my day here on this Monday in the beginning of February. Let's jump kind of stuff into we've played. We actually have a few different ones here. Obviously you have a few here. I don't know if any of the games here stand out that you want to start out with here.
It's a lot of just Game Pass stuff. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, once I figured out a weird graphical issue I was having, is it plays fine. I probably won't finish it, but I had a good time with it. It's kind of the stage that I'm at right now. Black Ops 6, I'm level 49 in multiplayer. I'm going to hit 55 prestige, maybe play for a little while after that and then uninstall it. Sniper Elite Resistance, just a new one that came out. It's a new Sniper Elite.
I was going to say, I don't know if I've heard much about this.
Neither have I. And the way that they were pushing it, I was really worried because all of the stuff that I saw about it, marketing-wise, once I started to look around, was them highlighting the invasion mode.
Oh.
Which this has one of those in it. The nice part is you can set it to always on, invite only, or always off.
So in this invasion, is it the Dark Souls-y co-op type invasion, or is it more like the other games where it's now there could be a real person that's facing you too?
Yeah, now there is an enemy sniper trying to hunt you down.
So real question, do you get a warning of that, or is it just signs you have to pay attention to?
I'd imagine there's some notification hey, you're being invaded. It would be diabolical if there wasn't any warning. If it was just well, Dark Souls did that where they didn't give you any warning that somebody was in your game. Well, if you're plotting along, because Sniper Elite's one of those games where you can either go kind of balls out or just take your time. If you spend an hour on a mission just slowly crawling around, only to get domed by somebody that you didn't realize was there, that would be hilarious.
See, that to me would be funny. If, no, or like there's just like a sign. You're like, why is everything moving just a little? You see movement in the distance or something. Like it's like one of those.
I mean, there there are signs in the game already when like a sniper sees you, you'll get a glint on your screen so you know like, hey, somebody sees you that can kill you right now. So there is that. I'd imagine it's something similar to that if you're being invaded. But I'll be curious to see if that mode gives this game legs. Because the problem with Sniper Elite games has always been, Sniper Elite 5 tried to fix this a little bit, has always been the long-term tail of these games.
Yeah, because the problem is like these games are so difficult. Like the audience who wants them kind of just buys them immediately.
Yeah, you don't get a huge growth in the audience. Like, you're gonna get the sickos that buy all of them or now, have Game Pass and can play all of them. And they're gonna show up, maybe not day one, but effectively day one. These games are very difficult to get new people into.
Mm-hmm.
Because how do you explain, hey, this game is Dark Souls, but there's really only one way to play. Right? It's a game that punishes you when you play wrong. But then the levels are so small that avoiding trouble in one area usually puts you into trouble in another area. And then suddenly you've got the entire map looking for you. So you're kind of forced into the pick a position and then, take out your targets from there.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's the problem of like the reason Hitmen work is because they have this problem, but they just put like 80 potential paths in this problem. But that's why make those work. But that's also why they're like so hard to make because like there is only one answer to kind of snipe someone correctly. In the same way, Hitman, I bet you how they design them functionally is very much like here's 81 correct answers and just throw them together.
yeah, I mean, with all Sniper Elite games, there has been the ability to just murder everyone and then work your way through it. The problem is, like, I've been taking my time, but also playing pretty quick. Most of these levels are taking me damn near an hour.
Oh snap!
Like, they're big. They have multiple objectives, usually. Some of them are objectives that require you to complete one phase and then another. Yeah, and if there's multiple objectives, they'll take you to different parts of the map, so you have to traverse the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just set up a sniper's nest and then go from there. So, yeah, these games have always appealed to me because there's very few games out there that really take the art of long distance shooting into account.
Yeah, there's like, yeah, because games kind of try to, but like, I think it's one of the few that actually do.
So, and I love that you can set the X-rays to basically as frequently as you want. So, I think now I've got it set to basically every kill shot is an X-ray. So,
Nice. That is.
I've been
Sniper
blowing
Elite.
a lot of eyes out, I will say that.
Does it still do the fun X-rays? I assume.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole pitch of these series. Is like
I
you
mean,
get the fun shots.
It's full on MK1 level, almost too detailed.
Okay, real question: can you kill Hitler?
I think it's one of the DLCs.
Okay, I was gonna say, can you imagine if they actually finally get rid of that?
Because this is set in like pre-D-Day. Pre-D-Day France. So
it looks like online people are describing it as a SE5 reskin.
yeah. I mean, that's probably people that are going, hey, Sniper Elite 5 was really good. And
That's what it might be. I think it might just be angry people. That's Sniper Elite 5.
yeah, I mean.
So. Yeah. Sniper Elite Resistance. I was just gonna say I've still been going through Persona 5 Royale. I don't know if we talked this last time. So I'm currently a couple dungeons in college. I played this game for a bit, but then I never got like finished it. So that's been like my Steam Deck game on the couch. Again, it is very much, as people have said before, you could see how it's one of the greatest JRPGs of all time. But what I really like about it is, and this is a thing that I stick with, I think, like Japanese or at least Eastern games tend to do better than Western games, is when they take something that is abstractly not serious, right? So if you look at Persona and a lot of Japanese anime, like they don't look, especially the cartoony looking ones don't look serious, but it's like very seriously topics. So like this one, like you said, in high school, and it talks about like very disturbing things like letting people die or suicide or raping. And it's like interesting how like these games find a way to coat that really interestingly, and like both keep these topics to seriousness, but then have it wrapped in this less serious full package sometimes. That I do think like Western animation or Western games, with some very few exceptions, like we've even seen recently of something like It Takes Two, like don't touch as well.
I will give Persona 5 specifically credit. I remember hearing people talk about when it came out, and it was one of those where they're like, it attempts to tackle a lot of the difficult stuff that faces people in high school now, and it's not as heavy-handed as it could be. And to me,
Right,
it's like that is the best compliment you can give a game like this.
Or
Because-
or like without talking about like exact specifics, like I'm going through the game right now, and they're talking about how like before there was like in the game like an attempted suicide, and like one of the friends almost has like a sense of guilt or PTSD of like, did I cause this even though it was like her fault? And like to me, it's very interesting of like, oh, like these are real discussions or real feelings people would have, but it still keeps this like very charming here, these like personas you're fighting with type thing to it in this package, and it doesn't feel like they're not taking the subtopic serious still.
And I think what's really telling about that is this is a Japanese game. Right? Like, as much as the US has a problem, Japan has a even bigger problem with.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that from that context too. Like, yeah, it is a lot of times like to them almost worse.
Has a very large problem with especially a younger population committing suicide. So for a Japanese developer to tackle a subject like that, yes, I get it, it's Persona, so there's a bit of an odd setting. But to tackle it in the setting of it's set in a high school and they're talking about it, I think it's more telling of where we are as a society, that we are maybe not comfortable, but we are at least open to having these discussions, which I guess a lot of people would see as progress. I don't know if I would necessarily call it progress, because it's a step in the right direction. But yeah, I mean, it's like I say, it's very interesting to see a Japanese-centric franchise tackle that. I mean, obviously, like, you know, Yakuza games have tackled suicide in the past, but it's more around the almost Bushido code of, all you have is your honor, and if you dishonor, you commit seppuku and kill yourself. So it's whereas this to kind of address it as a stress response is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
and
glad
then
they handled it well. Also,
I was like, no, and also just general, also naturally speaking, very good battle system. You like JRPGs. It's like people kind of know at this point. Persona is basically darker Pokemon with dungeons. I don't know how to describe it in a lot of ways, but like kind of plays that way. So can't give you guys an idea if you don't know. But and then finally, speaking of Pokemon, you ironically have a Pokemon game on this list, which is a little strange when you think of the two of us. But go on.
I mean, I've just been getting my daily dopamine hit with Pokemon Pocket. That's really it. I mean, I've got.
But it having its problems is there. Are you kind of like actually playing the battles, or are you just kind of logging in?
I get boat raced if I battle real people. Right. I don't know the Pokemon systems at all. I can beat the AI up to a certain level, but like I'm not looking at meta charts to build decks around certain cards. I mean, unknowingly, before the most recent update, I had the meta card.
Oh, that's funny.
Like right away, and it's a Mewtwo EX.
Oh, I feel like seeing people talk about this about Mewtwo EX.
Yeah, I have 2 of them.
Is it the transfer change one?
Transfer change. What do you mean?
What's the attack?
Hold on. Psychic Sphere and Side Drive.
Psychic Sphere.
It's a psychic and a.
This is the one that like everyone loves, really?
It was apparently the meta.
It's interesting because like as someone who's played a lot of Pokemon, I wouldn't have looked at this and been like, this is the meta. It must have go into like a EX or something, because just looking at it, I'm like, this is the big one?
Well, I mean, it's a 50 hit 2 energy.
Right.
And it's a 150 hit 4 energy, so it's kind of.
But the problem with like the 4 energy is like, so I get it down to a 3 energy with like a double colorless. It's the 2 psychics my problem. So I need either 3 or a special energy there too.
Well, so the nice thing about Pocket is it just generates energy types, so you don't need a deck.
So I didn't realize this. I thought this whole time the game was literally just porting like the TCG and making it mobile friendly.
No, it's so when you battle, you get 20 cards to build a deck, and you don't have to worry about energy.
Ah, okay.
You just generate energy on your turn. You generate 1. So.
Okay, so they kind of almost Hearthstoned it.
No.
Isn't that what Hearthstone did? Was you generate 1 each turn?
You do, but you start with however many it was. I think you start with 10. And then you generate 1 every turn.
Okay.
Whereas it generates 1 every turn, so you don't start with anything. I think the reason the Mewtwo EX was meta was because it was a basic, so you could get it out right away.
And also the generating also changes that dynamics a ton too. Because now I don't care the same that it takes a few energy, where before it's like, how do I get this energy? Where now each turn, functionally speaking, I'm probably adding energy to my Pokemon.
Yeah. So.
That is Pokemon Pocket?
Yeah, Pokemon Pocket Trader. Hold on.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it looks very.
There's a full name, and it's
Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket?
Sure.
Is a free to. Yes. DNA makes it?
Pokemon Pocket, yeah.
Then yes, it came out like end of October last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, go check that out on your local app stores if you please. Jumping into what we've seen, I just want to shout first. I saw A Complete Unknown the other day. The Timothy Chalamet, Bob Dylan biopic. Have you taken a glander at this film or not yet?
No, I don't necessarily have a burning desire to go see it.
Honestly, like I was super impressed and surprised how good it was. Like I get how it's like very much that best picture type film when you watch it. I thought it played the character of Bob Dylan well, and like I really liked how like so biopics have this problem where there's not enough gray in them a lot of times, right? So like it's kind of like we have to make a story so there are characters, a good guy, a bad guy. I think it was very good at showing Bob Dylan as Bob Dylan, which helped a ton. So like it showed him as a human being. He wasn't like this like, is he good or is he bad? Like you could see his faults, he's good. I also think this is one of the biopics that I think does really well, where I think there's a lot of them, especially like music, where like they just take like a small section of his life and just go with it, versus like Bohemian Rhapsody when it goes over like that really long span. This film is very much like here is, I think it's like 5 years or whatever, and we're just going with it, which helps a ton. Also just the obvious thing of like it's James Mangold, the actor's really good. I would go check it out if people get a chance. Also, I think it's super impressive that Timothy Chalamet doing all of the Bob Dylan songs in this film, because, like, honestly, you'd probably think it's Bob Dylan if you didn't know. So. Well,
I mean, give the guy an extra 2 years, right? Because this movie got affected by COVID.
It was like a 5-year development cycle of this film, which is like absurdly long for an actor involved with it.
What's the time period of it?
It is early 1960s. It goes from like, I want to say like, 61 to 65. Yeah, I think Malcolm X gets killed, I think is the last like dated event.
So it's his move from Minneapolis to New York.
Literally, the film starts with him basically entering New York. Like that's the start of the film.
Oh, so it doesn't cover his time in Minnesota at all?
No, like literally you cut New York, him going to go meet him trying to meet Pete Seeger and Woody Guthrie.
Huh.
And then the film ends a hair after his final folk festival, Newport Folk Festival.
Interesting.
So that's why I like how it's this tighter window of like sure, they have to make points to kind of explain who Bob Dylan is at points because he's meeting people, so they do that naturally. But like, it's enough for this to breathe. But like, yes, yeah. So like Bob Dylan, there's so much in theory, or you cover so many songs or so many stories. I like how they just kind of chose with a small section to give us more time with it.
Yeah. I also like how Timothy Chalamet is the new Benedict Cumberbatch. Now, admittedly, I'm stealing this from I think Twitter, where you can just say whatever and everyone knows what you're talking about. Like Benedict Cumberbatch, it was Bumblebee Cumberbund, like anything that started with the same letters as their name, you knew who you were talking about.
Yeah. Timmy Champagne, Timmy Shalamano, like any of that. You just say like, oh, we know who you mean.
Thompson Shalamano Ding Dong. Yeah, like
any of that. You're like the Wonka guy. Like you just start.
Yeah. And
the white boy from Dune.
I think part of it is those actors' willingness to lean into that. Because I don't feel like. Also, you need kind of a weird.
Timothy Chalamet, I was gonna say Timothy Chalamet. I've also heard an argument that I think, and I do think it's starting to be true, is that like the argument of like, is he like kind of this first real movie star we've seen in a long time? Like we're starting to see a trend of like box office do well that they shouldn't, like with him, and he like films are getting booked because of him, which like modern actors are talking about. It's harder and harder to be like the name that like gets the projects through the door.
I would argue Glenn Powell
That's another one that I think is up there, but I think Timothée Chalamet has had a longer tail to like prove it, where Glenn Powell is still like proving that true.
I don't know. I feel like Chalamet, outside of Dune, Part 1. I mean, he was an unknown Dune Part 1.
Right, like he only had the like indie pictures, and no one cared about his Interstellar, obviously.
So I definitely feel like he has shot onto the scene because of Dune.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it does feel like Glenn Powell was like playing his bit parts and then landed the role of a lifetime. And now off of the back of Top Gun has
like out of the back of Top Gun has done. Is he like 4 movies deep post Top Gun already?
It's 5.
There's the Netflix film. There is Twisters. There is the Sydney Sweeney one. There is I'm at 3 Glenn Powell films just on top of my head. I thought there was one more that I saw recently with Glenn Powell that I liked.
So I guess it depends on how you define post Top Gun Maverick, because that film was technically done in 2019, 2020.
I've got that film was one of those like got held forever.
So it's like, okay, well, if you take that into consideration, he was
Anyone But You, Hitman, Devotion. Yeah, okay. Devotion's what I was thinking of, by the way.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the other thing it was in.
I mean, he was in some stuff, right? Like, he was in...
It's funny.
He was in Ride Along.
He was in Hidden Figures. He was in. Yeah. I forget, Hidden Figures. He had like
in Hidden Figures.
Yeah, he had a good sized role in Hidden Figures. It's not like he was it's not like Dark Knight Rises where he's a random guy. Like he's like an actual person.
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises. Traitor number 1. They don't even give the guy a name.
It is funny though how Glenn Powell is. I will bet on this one is Glenn Powell will be that guy like 20 years from now. You have the like, oh, he was the famous actor. You look back and you go, what do you mean he was in fucking everything as like a side character? Like you look back and he's like John Candy and like a bunch of stuff, or like so you get these people. You're like, what do you mean they're in like 80 films for like 2 seconds? What do you mean
he was in Spy Kids 3 game?
Right. Okay, so real question though, before we move on to what you've seen in that one, is the biggest weird thing that it's Taylor Lautner in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, or that Glenn Powell in Spy Kids 3D?
Or is the weirder thing that Taylor Lautner is married to Taylor Lautner?
No, that is the greatest thing that Hollywood has ever given us, because no one had to like if only there was like a gender neutral middle name we give both of them, it would actually be perfect.
Yeah.
But on that note, for what we've seen here, your note just says a mechanic. I don't know if you've been to a mechanic recently, if you started learning mechanic stuff on YouTube, but what is this mechanic?
No, this is a remake of a Charles Bronson movie with Jason Statham in it.
Okay, now that you're saying that the Jason Statham one does sound familiar.
This was like Statham's era of kind of, he was the action guy, like
yeah, because when
it turned into a full-on thing, like, the mechanic was 2011. Then
I always think of Jason Statham, to me, was the villain in what's the drug movie? That's when I always placed him in first, like when I first saw him.
Which one?
The with Bradley Cooper. Limitless. Limitless is always the like growing up first time I think I saw Jason Statham.
Are you sure he's in that?
Limitless? He's the villain in Limitless, is he not? Is it not Limitless?
I'm in the era of when that was, and he's not listed.
Okay, who am I thinking of then?
I mean, I think my introduction to him was Italian Job.
That makes sense.
And then I've gone back to see like Transporter, Crank, Death
Crank's
Race.
the one with the heart.
Yeah, Crank's the one where like his heart needs to get above a certain BPM. And it's the one, I believe it's the second one, High Voltage, where it's the famous like the clip of him bending a girl over and just smashing her in public.
Yeah, we've all seen that clip.
Yeah, that's, I believe, from the second one, if I remember it. And then, yeah, Mechanic became kind of a franchise. There were 2 of them.
The controversial thing is Jason Statham is, you know how we've talked about in the past that Batista has like transitioned from like action actor to like making roles for him and like proving he's a serious actor?
Yeah.
Jason Statham is if he didn't want to prove that. Like
I think he saw the checks coming in.
No, and like nothing wrong with that. But like Jason Statham just went, I am happy being the action guy and I'm just going to be the best action guy I can be. Like that is what Jason Statham has decided.
I mean, looking at his filmography, like his breakthrough is Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and then he does Snatch 2 years later. Then he does Turn It Up, then he does Ghost of Mars, then The One, Mean Machine in 01. 02 is The Transporter. That's his first like major action role. And then it just goes from there. Then after Transporter, it's A Voice in Red Faction 2. It's Italian Job. It's A Voice in Call of Duty. It's Collateral, Transporter 2. Like, he doesn't stop making... I mean, honestly, you go through his IMDb, Expendables 4 is the weakest.
Well, that's the weakest for almost anyone's IMDb.
What's that?
I said that's almost the weakest for anyone's IMDb.
Yeah, I mean, it's at 4.8. F9 is at 5.2, so it's close. But I mean, taking those out of it, those kind of clunkers out of it, starting at Transporter. Let's see.
Also,
Transporter 1 is 6.8, and then it doesn't dip below. Well, he was in The Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale, which I've never heard of. That looks like a straight to DVD. And that was a 3.8. But it doesn't dip below 5 outside of...
Which actually, for an action guy, you'd think there'd be worse. Also, I sent you a thing that, do we think Kotaku's being hacked?
Yes. I mean, it's literally the last 4. It just says pump of their key. But yeah, I mean, he's found his role, and people enjoy him in that role, and...
Oh no, I'm not saying he's bad at that role in the slightest.
So yeah, I don't have a problem with him in that role. Having him try to play an American gets a little weird. And I love the movies that call that out. Those are always fun. But yeah.
Nice.
It's on I think it's on Max or something like that. So
okay, sure. Go check it out if you'd like. Jumping in to some film and TV news. The big one I just had to shout out, and I feel like you're gonna have a second one that you probably want to shout in a second. We had announced that David Lynch passed. David Lynch is obviously one of those people that when you talk about like for sure television and a lot of times filmmaking, it gets brought up as a very influential person. Very most famously probably for Twin Peaks or Mulholland Drive. obviously that is someone who left his impact and can be seen even in the shows of like the 21st century, and like a lot of his impact kind of there and stuff, like arguably stuff like Lost, even like you kind of see the very Lynchian kind of influence on. I don't know if kind of you had any of his works that stood out, if stuff that's influenced by his works.
I mean, I didn't have a ton of stuff of his that I referenced solely because it's not that I wasn't a fan. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? Like Eraserheads, Twin Peaks, the original Dune, Mulholland Drive, like some of that stuff is up there with the best of the best, but you know, I just think about stuff like, you know, he just does random shit. Like, he directed a short for PlayStation. Right?
David Lynch is someone who, it's fair to say, may have been picky for work, but didn't love turning down work.
Yeah.
Or like, obviously, how do I not mention David Lynch is the person who directed the original Dune film?
Yeah.
Like David Lynch. That's like we wouldn't have the Dune we have today with at least that film probably being made, is my guess.
Yeah, you needed that film to
Get what we get.
get to where we are. I mean, you can't forget his illustrious music career.
This is true.
But
yeah. Otherwise, the other thing I wanted to shout out was we has Oscar nominations. We don't have to go through all of them, but I at least think anything that we want to shout out, or the big one obviously is always a Best Picture. Here are the 10 films nominated for Best Picture. I just want to get your general feel for the year. Those films were Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. As a general sense, I'm curious from that, or anything else that kind of stands out to you, kind of, how do you kind of feel the year 2024 was in film?
so here's the thing. Most everyone's votes have already been cast for this. Dear God, if Emilia Perez wins more than one or two.
Thank God we agree.
So many people will go, the Oscars are a joke. Like, they're...
Can I, I'm going to say a thing that's going to piss so many people off in one sentence. Are you ready?
Go for it.
I am concerned Emilia Perez will win Best Picture for the same reason I am partially convinced that Beyonce won Best Album last night at the Grammys. Because I genuinely think last night Beyonce won Best Album from the Grammys. Not saying it should have been up there for Best Album, but it's because Beyonce never won one, so it's time to give it to her. And I'm really concerned the voting academy is going to vote for Emilia Perez as because we feel like she should win, or this movie should win, versus like looking at it in the full sense of like what it's up against, not just what winning would mean.
I don't will
think
say this. Looking at the nominations for Grammy's Album of the Year, it's between Cowboy Carter and Swift's album. I mean, obviously, like, don't get me wrong, Chappell Roan has taken over the industry. I'm not denying that. I just don't believe that album is worthy of Album of the Year.
I do think she got stars for being how much it blasted on the scene. Like, it's to clarify, I agree with you. Like, it's Chappell Roan. I think someone who came in so actually me and Christina was last night. What I really liked about this year generally with a lot of the winners, or at least a lot of the nominees for the Grammys, is, I don't know about you, I don't personally love last year's The Rise. I'm gonna go back to film in a second. The rise in music of the like more mumbly, like I can't understand it. Where this year especially felt like a lot of vocalists are the ones who won or were nominated. And by that I mean like people you could tell, like Chaperone's a good example. She's like a trained vocalist and you can hear it. Or like Benson Brune's a good example of like, it's because of how he sings is why he's winning, not because of like the audio with the overlay. This like it's like very much like people were up this year because of their like raw singing chops, which isn't always true at the Grammys.
Yeah, I mean, dude, just to wrap up our Grammy discussion, thank Jesus and every other deity out there that fucking Kendrick Lamar won Not Like Us.
That just was. He's so weak. To clarify, Kendrick Lamar. You know my favorite part is
so the best part about this. This is the first
industry.
This is the first and probably only time a diss track will ever win Record of the Year.
How much do you think? Because like they kept blasting back to Jay-Z. How much do you feel like Jay-Z was just standing there being like, we won, like culturally like we won, like you saw Dre in the back, like there's these like founding fathers of like rap in that arena who just are sitting there being like, we goddamn won. Like after all of the time of like trying to be taken seriously and stuff too, because like a diss track is what won.
Yeah, I mean, the other nominations for Song of the Year, there were ones like, okay, if Not Like Us didn't win Song of the Year, I would have been totally fine with Die With a Smile.
That was a song that's another example of like a thing that came out of nowhere.
Best new artist, like
Chaperone
winning Best New Artist is totally fine to me.
But like that's a good example to me of like what that award's for. And we talked about how it wasn't truly Best Album. Like if we're arguing if it was Best Album, it's at least justifiable for winning Best New Artist to me.
Yeah. Or I mean, having Doechii in that category and having Doechii win the Rap Album of the Year kind of made me go, okay, I get it, but still interesting.
Yeah, but back to the Academy Awards and the Oscars. Best Picture, we both agree on Emilia Perez. I don't know.
Who do I think should win Best Picture?
Yeah.
Okay. There's two parts of me, right? One part of me wants Dune Part 2 to win because it's beautiful. The other part of me wants The Substance to win.
Interesting. My head went to The Brutalist.
The only reason I want Substance to win is because horror films never get nominated for stuff. So seeing the acceptance of The Substance just makes me want it to win everything. So, I mean, dude, honestly, like, visual effects should be better, man. Although it's going up against Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
But like I conceptually actually agree with you. Like,
and it's like, okay, who did it better? The movie where they're all ape men, or it's one ape man?
And Better Man impresses me because for all the problems with that film, like that wasn't the problem with the film.
Yeah, the visuals in that movie are very good.
I do have so I'm actually curious.
Also, hold on. Why didn't Wicked get nominated for adapted screenplay?
This was that's actually because like that to me, like also that's the other one I was gonna say. Should Wicked be in the achievement for visual effects? Like look at its competition. Of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Dune Part 2, Better Man, and Alien Romulus.
I mean, I've heard a lot of not great things about Alien Romulus, so if there's anyone that should get kicked out, it's probably them.
But like Wicked to me, it was a fun achievement, but like it's not a visual achievement in that way, and like what I would argue for that award.
Yeah.
Like to me, like that's something like achievement in like directing or something that I'm surprised it's not nominated for.
So the problem with the visual effects is this category's had a few different takes on who wins.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time where it was best visual effects. Then there was also a time where it was most visual effects. And I feel like we're getting back to just who uses them the best.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone knows now everything's shot on a soundstage. So everybody's got visual effects. So how do you go from there?
But yeah, that is the Oscars. They will be, I think, like
It's in March.
And on Sunday, March 2nd, the 97th Academy Awards will be presented. Also, as we close off Academy talk, one fun thing I had to make a comment about was I really appreciated how Will Smith is banned from the Oscars, so he goes to the Grammys.
Yeah.
that was the one thing I had to point out. But yeah, jumping.
I mean, dude, everybody goes to the Grammys, so it's not.
It's just funny because like knowing he's banned from the Oscars to me makes it funnier that he's at the Grammys.
Yeah.
So, and then one trailer I wanted to shout out fast for trailers was Mickey 17 has its second trailer, and honestly, this film I think is looking very fun, and we will get to see more of it in March. This trailer is also playing in the front, at least for me, it was playing in front of PlayUnknown's. I think it's in some packages too. So you'll probably catch it if you're out in theaters. But yeah, Mickey 17 coming out relatively soon. Jumping into the game news, we got a lot. Well, we got some, but not a lot. The big one here, at least to start out, is SIE has announced Hideki, you think I'm not butchering his Japanese name. Hideki Nishino, who is the co-CEO of PlayStation with Herman Holst, will now be effectively the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, which is PlayStation conceptually, with Herman Holst now reporting up to him instead of being his co-lead.
How did you pronounce his name?
Real poorly. Do you want me to try it unbutchered again?
I think it's Hideki Nishino.
I think you were correct, and I just completely butchered on how to...
Yeah.
Nishino, I think you're right, I'm sure. But yeah, this combined with the next story I wanted to kind of merge into one, just to get us running here, is that happens literally days after Ted Price announced he will be retiring from the industry and leading Insomniac Games, and they're announcing basically 3 new co-heads. To me, this combined with like Shigeru Shuda, like recently like retired, like I'm very curious in the back of PlayStation, like, what the hell is going on?
Dude, it's the same thing. Like, everybody is getting to that age of, they're just aging out, basically, of the industry. I mean, somebody... Who was it? Oh, it was the guys over at Nextlander. Said, the Switch 2 is going to be the last Nintendo release for a lot of the OG Nintendo guys.
And that's very true. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because they're all like in their 70s now.
Well, what's interesting to me, though, all the people I just said who are retiring are, like, in their 50s, though. And that's why, like, that to me is a little interesting, because they're both Japanese companies we're talking about here.
Well...
And PlayStation is definitely having them retire. Like, they're retiring sooner.
They're retiring sooner because these guys were part of the most profitable era of video games ever. Right? From the PS2 through the PS3 to the 4. And, their tail end of their career into the 5. There was never a time. Now, obviously, that's most of video game history. But the 2 and the 4 are the 2 eras where profits went bananas. So these guys can retire a little earlier because they got incredibly well compensated. during that time.
I at least am of the thing of, because obviously we've talked in the past and there's been a lot of discussion in the industry of like bloated budgets and all that over time. I'm also really curious if like, so you know how like think of like from PlayStation 4 view, like the beginning of the PS3 is like they all buckle down and fight. I'm really wondering if there is this sense in like the AAA space right now that we're entering that period again where we have to all like sit down and fight. And I bet you if you're someone who doesn't need to work like that anymore, at some point you just go, I had that fight, it's someone else's turn to fight it too.
Well, and I guess, yeah, that's part of it too, right? Is like the past 10 years for a lot of these guys, it was COVID. It was, reduction in budgets.
I was gonna say also was the height of the modern console wars, probably from what 2010 to like 2016, 15. Like you have that obviously too. Like you start having these things like where it's like and now if all of a sudden you're like, okay, now we're fighting live service games and inflated budgets, and obviously as we go through a lot more layoffs happen again. Like at what point do you just go, you know what? I made my $10 million. Sure, maybe I might be one of those execs that come back 10 years from now with a really small team and do something, but like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to play this like fight for survival game anymore when I really don't need to. And there's also some truth I would also say that like they probably might not literally have it in there anymore, because when you're young and hungry argument versus the like, I don't need to do this, and this in your back of your head mind too.
Yeah, you're young and hungry, but then you go on to lead Insomniac and, think about the stuff that they produced the past 10 years.
Right. You like 10 price will go down as...
Where do you go?
Yes.
There's a nowhere up, right? It's the 3 Spider-Man games. It's, what else did he oversee? Well, he was there for 30 years, so he oversaw.
Ted Price Ted Price founded, he helped to make Spyro. Like, he co-founded, Insom. Like, you get to go from, I was in the front end of 3D platformers to the tail end being, I helped to lead the team or lead the studio that helped to make probably the best superhero game, or arguably one of the best superhero games of all time in Spider-Man 2. It's kind of like this thing of, for the niche they wanted to be in, they got to do it. And or you got to be think about it, Insomniac forever was one of the biggest and most important independent studios before PlayStation bought them. Little things like that of keeping that team alive without having to be bought for that long on paper was absurd, because Insomniac had many rough years and stuff.
Yeah.
So we will see. I guess we'll wrap the other PlayStation one in this, because good catch on that when I saw you kind of looking at it. The other one, there was reporting going on that right before all this by good old Jason Schreier at Bloomberg that Sony had canceled 2 more PlayStation products that were supposedly live service games in Bluepoint Games and in Bend. So this goes back to I don't think PlayStation knows what they're doing anymore. And I would be concerned actively working for either of those teams, being honest right now, based on how money and all that stuff seems to be looking.
I mean, did you hear what one of these projects was?
It was the Live War God of War.
Yeah. One of those projects was a live service God of War game. Which admittedly, it makes sense, right? With the transition in the new God of War and Ragnarok to the color-coded gear-based system that it is. Admittedly, a live service game makes sense. Do I want to see it? Absolutely not. Would I understand it? Yes. Again, don't want it, but I understand.
It's the age-old, do you want versus won't make money. But what I don't understand is, the stuff that wouldn't make money in my head. Again, I'm going to go back to, this is the studio execs that approved and brought you Concord.
Yeah.
Which, tell me the line the reporting of we expected this to be the next Star Wars is not the greatest reporting of all time of that game.
So my serious question around Concord is, how many people got fired that day? Right.
Like in the PlayStation corporate structure, I feel like so many approval people got fired.
The day that it released to, what was it, like less than 50,000 sales?
I don't understand how you released it.
I mean, dude, the person that signed off on that project probably saw that number and went, you know what? I'll just tender my resignation. Because you know that next morning your ass is getting fired.
Oh, 100%.
So.
But yeah, the other one, there's just no action news on it, but I would feel unfair to not at least say the line, the Switch 2 has been announced. Please be excited. Expect more coming soon, but we will be hearing more about the Nintendo Switch 2 this year. TBD.
The Joy-Con guns.
Yes, which actually looks kind of cool.
Yes, that is a cool feature.
Like, I'm not saying it's gonna be used well or anything, but like as a function of the controller, it actually is a pretty cool little thing. Otherwise, continuing down our news, Netflix is raising prices again. Just a warning to people. The new plans start at standard with ads going from $7 to $8, standard with no ads from $15.50 to $18, which is my favorite. This is the biggest jump. And then premium, which is that 4K streaming option, going from $23 to $25 a month. So I'm going to say that the controversial thing is I stick with the standard with ads plan isn't a bad price. That's the end of me defending Netflix's pricing, to clarify.
So if you want 4K streaming, you are paying $300 a year.
Yes.
For that. Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't had Netflix since 2016. I refuse to support Netflix. Could you get standard with ads and then run an ad blocker?
So there's two things. My understanding is it mostly does. It's like Hulu where sometimes something gets through.
At least for me, Hulu, it never got through.
Okay, a lot of people, I think you know that too. We kept pointing towards like Hulu ads sneak through sometimes. It's like that. The catch though is because of certain, I don't know the technical, but certain media rights, certain things cannot run with ads. So those things you cannot view on that plan. Like there are certain movies or whatever that they don't have the rights for some reason to run them with ads. So they're only in the standard or premium plan. So you just feel like you'd see the movie or TV show still, and it'd have a little like lockbox tied to it.
Huh.
So that's like a good example of like the Sydney Sweeney Glenn Powell film. You can't watch it on ads. You had to watch it with the no ads plan.
Okay.
So I don't have a good reason on my own, but otherwise, yeah. But yeah. I really want to meet the person who's paying the $25 a month for Netflix and is defending it for the premium reason, not because I need the extra slots it gets so you can watch simultaneous reason.
There's definitely families.
Families I get because I think they get 5 you can stream at the same time. So they might get for that reason. But I don't get it from the are we really paying $25 to stream this in 4K?
That part of it is... So, okay. Here's the truth behind this that no one likes to admit.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's TV upscales to 4K anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting anything extra.
Because you're being realistic. You're already streaming it to the point where you're not seeing true 4K anyway. This isn't like you're doing it off a Blu-ray player.
Yeah. So if you're going to have Netflix, which I don't support it, I am not against other people supporting it because I think if you have a personal issue with something, you shouldn't stop other people from enjoying that thing. I want to see where the people are. Let's see. Standard 1080. So standard 1080. So the one that's going to $18, which interestingly, they're already adjusted. If you go to sign up right now.
Yeah, I think it was existing subscriptions get a delay.
You can stream 2 devices at the same time. It's only at premium that it goes up to 4.
Oh, okay. I know they had obviously the family bonus you could always check out and all that, but yeah. But like, because you know my line's always when people try to argue that streaming at this point is the cost just like cable, and I'm like, the difference is like you could still pay for one stream, but you couldn't pay for one channel. And like, and I still stick with that one. But like, to me at a certain price point, like Netflix, in what world in today's environment are you pitching Netflix as a better deal than HBO Max?
You want to know the secret about my HBO Max subscription?
Is it your parents'?
No, it's mine. I've always had it. I'm not getting charged for the sports upgrade.
And you still get the sports?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know if they like shadow canceled that.
I don't.
If they shadow up, let's see. BR Sports add-on is $10 a month when billed through us. So, okay, let me see what their plans are listed at. I don't pay for the Ultimate as far as I know, which is their top tier. I pay, let's see, payments and subscriptions. I pay $17 a month, so I have ad free. And okay, so right now it just says watch select sports on us for a limited time.
Apparently that time is very limited.
There's nothing what's included with each plan. The same content. Okay, so this is interesting. The ad-based Max, there's no content restrictions. Yeah, BR Sports add-on included with all subscription plans on us for a limited time. So I'm not seeing anything. This is January 5th, 2024 from The Verge. Max's live sports add-on will be free for a few more months.
There you go.
So I don't know if there's currently not. I don't know what's going on, but I can watch sports whenever I want.
Are we to believe, like, first off, like, Warner is laying people off every 5 minutes, so we truly believe someone's really in charge of monitoring that?
Yeah, I highly doubt it. I mean, I watched, so if I go to the Bleacher Report Sports tab, I've got, I can watch the full replays, I can watch highlights, I can watch all the stuff on here, Hard Knocks. Yeah. I'm currently not trying to put that out in the universe, but get on it now while you still can, I guess.
Well, you still can.
They finally bumped me out of the grandfathered price of $14 a month.
Really?
Yeah. Which, I mean, admittedly, like, I had HBO Go before Max.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that was $14 a month. It was what HBO would cost if you didn't have a cable package. And there was a point where I was like, this is going to go up, obviously. Like, it has to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like...
And I think it went from 14 to 15 to now 17.
And I functionally get stream, like I've never been like, I functionally from my account get like streamers have to raise prices eventually. The problem just starts butting up against like realities of like, that's when it's like when Netflix raised their price, like HBO like raised their price from like 15 to 16. It's like HBO has been $50 since it launched in 1980. Anyone pretending that was unreasonable is absurd, for example. Like that's a true line.
Yeah, I mean,
versus
okay.
like
HBO ad free is $17 a month. So it's $1 cheaper than what Netflix ad free is right now.
Right, but then put this in the context of HBO launched at $15 in what, 1980s?
Yeah, no, what I'm getting at is the content catalog that HBO Max has, as well as the ability to watch the live Warner channels, is just shit that Netflix doesn't have.
Yes, like this is the ironically it's being linear TV, but like that is something that Warner has that like is in its back pocket so much.
Yeah,
because they're like, whatever's still left, you can watch it.
Yeah, there's very little that leaves Max.
And like it's still absurd when it does a lot of times because I own it. But like their content
the
libraries...
funniest shit in the world is stuff that leaves Max for a month. Like it's contractually obligated to, like, it's stuff that was probably before the mergers.
Right.
So it's like,
they probably have like rules
it
in
has
place
to leave by technicality.
Right.
But we own it, so we'll let its contract run out. It'll be gone for a month, and then it'll be back. So, yeah.
It's so good. But yeah,
quit supporting Netflix. Just move to something else.
Please, everyone, go. I gotta say though, we've been messing with it recently. Tubi, that free platform. Did you know it has cable channels on it?
Yeah.
Like that free platform. I'm just saying. We made fun of my parents for years watching it. There's actual shit on it.
Your parents were watching Tubi?
My parents have been watching Tubi. Do you know why? So they bought a smart TV in like 2017 was like their first smart TV. It just happened to be one of the apps that was downloaded on it like when it launched.
Interesting. I mean, Tubi's got some cool stuff. Like, admittedly, it's a little the ads can get a little annoying.
Yeah, it's a little annoying, and like Tubi also has some questionable stuff on there, but like for the broad level of it being free, it has a surprising amount of shit.
Dude, literally, Dune, Part 1, One Night in Miami, which I believe is a Prime movie, Justice League, Blue Beetle, Killer Elite, which is okay, whatever, AVP Requiem, The Foreigner, which is a very good movie, The Circle, White House Down, like Limitless, the original movie, like, and they're gonna have the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you'll be able to watch the Super Bowl on Tubi, like, and yeah, it's got, you know, some of the greatest movies of all time, like Some Like It Hot.
What did we watch? We watched something on TV. We watched
their classics catalog is incredible. The Great Escape.
We watched something on the classic catalog very recently too. Let me see if I can find my Sunny Man. I have a Tubi account now, so we've been watching. What did we watch?
There's a lot of stuff in Spanish, which is really cool.
We watched Somewhere in Time. That's what we watched on it.
Yeah.
Which, because
The original Magnificent Seven.
There was a lot of like actual
Columbo, like Kitchen Nightmares. Dude, I'm telling you, like Dirty Dancing is on here.
Mm-hmm. There is like actual. God no, this he's just
Tubi's got shit. Don't get me wrong.
If anyone has never, she's actually pull up the classic 12 Angry Men. Yeah, Jesus. Do they have everything that just Warner didn't do?
I think they have access to TCM is
What it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Rescue, like they have a lot of random ass shit. They have John Drew Barrymore, which I'm assuming is the father of Drew Barrymore.
I believe so, yeah.
Because, yeah, Drew Barrymore's father. But yeah, there's a lot of cool shit. Go check out Tubi. But then jumping, and what we've been doing in the news segments, that here is the sad part. First, we wanted to shout out that, for people who don't know, Ludum and Dare is the very famous solo game jam that you'd kind of do over a weekend. They've been canceled for this year. The organizer has said the event will come back. But it's interesting because one of the reasons is because like the organizer example, like the industry is very tight right now where they've been laid off also, and it's just been really hard for people to find work, as we will get to here in a moment. First, BioWare is now even more of a husk of its former self by reporting it's under 100 employees. Basically, they had a bunch of people move out into broader EA or laid off if you're not working on Mass Effect. To the point where
this is, I hate to say this, like you're going on about layoffs, which is a very serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the news stories that broke today, Treyarch co-founder pleads guilty to crashing drone into firefighting plane during LA fires.
No, I saw that and I didn't even know how to.
Dude, the fact that it's a fucking idiot from Treyarch just makes that hilarious.
Right.
Yeah. So sorry. Layoffs are an unfortunate reality that the video game industry deals with all the time. And I do wonder if 25 is going to be the year that, like, we thought, oh, well, it's going to be a lot of, we've basically laid everyone off that we can. The Goliaths of the industry aren't doing great.
Yeah, because we could talk about who else could you get rid of, right? Because we're like, there's no one left to go. Because my understanding with the Bio one, just to close that thought out, is my understanding, like, at least the writers and most of the people who worked on Dragon Age are gone out of BioWare. They're not all laid off, they might have moved to other EA studios, but, like, BioWare is just gutted. Where it's literally just, you're going to Mass Effect and I'll hope for the best. Like, that's what we're talking.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I don't think you have it on here, but EA lost 16% of its value, almost 20% of its value, when they announced that they had to reorganize their goals.
Because one of the things I didn't actually put on here, the reason that stirred this was they announced in that earnings call that Dragon Age sold 50% of what they were projecting.
Yeah, I'm curious to... Well, okay, since it sold half of what they were projecting...
Well, it was half earnings. Let me phrase it. It wasn't half sales, it was half revenue, but like in the front half of the game, that's kind of a one-to-one in that type of game.
So how many... What is it, Dragon Age?
Or it's not Inquisition, that was the 2014.
Veilguard.
Okay. You could put a gun in my head. I don't think I would have got there. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Sales. I mean, this is a week ago on the Dragon Age subreddit, citing a Bloomberg source. 1.5 million players.
That was
quarter.
my head was going 1.5 to 2 is what I bet you, because I bet you they were projecting like 4-ish.
So I mean, does that take it? I mean, it does take into account anyone that's played it. So that's EA Play Trials. That's apparently GeForce Now had a promo. So that's not sales. But here's a good example. Andromeda, which might have been the worst reviewed game leading up to release in recent memory.
Mm-hmm.
Sold over 3 million in its release quarter. So, and that's sold, right? Like, you're not looking at trials and things like that. And that game had so much bad press attached to it before it even released. Dragon Age, which had basically nothing attached to it before release, reached 1.5 million players. So, a game that was being touted as so broken, it's not even funny, sold 3 million. You didn't really advertise Veilguard, and you reached half of that.
Yeah.
Understand all news is good news. There will be people dumb enough to just buy the game because there's Dragon Age on it.
But also, like when I was seeing clips of Veilguard, I'm not a big Dragon fan. Like, I do think there was some validity of, like, this game wasn't looking the best also. Like
yeah, I haven't really paid
like it's one of the, but I agree. I don't think it was advertised well. I think Dragon Age Veilguard was like Dragon's Dogma 2, where I forgot it was coming out.
Yeah.
But continuing down the list here, Multiverses, the Warner Smash clone, or not Smash, I guess Warner fighting game, is closing down. That lasted a couple years. Do you remember when Multiverses did that really weird fucky thing where people bought things and then it disappeared and then it came back and things that
I was
going to
say, it wasn't a couple of years. It was, this game was out in beta, they were selling shit, and then they shut it down for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then brought it back up. And I believe there was a big special edition for it.
I thought there was some absurd cost thing too. I think you were right. But yeah, so Multiverses, so people are aware, is still available if you have downloaded it. It apparently goes offline in a couple months here, and then it will, in theory, work offline for the foreseeable future. But obviously what that phrasing tells you is eventually, my guess is they're pulling some sort of back-end switch, because that was a very specific phrasing they used. So that is another one of these live service games that is not fit for this world. Do you think anyone's made a site like the Google Graveyard, but for like live service, like AAA games?
Oh, there's got to be. So there was $100 version of it. And what did it say? 30 character tokens, 1 exclusive banner, 3 premium battle passes, 2 banners, 2 ring out effects, a unique nameplate, and currency. My question is, are there 30 characters?
There might be. Like, there was a lot of characters, don't forget.
Okay,
they added characters too.
Here's the thing from, this is admittedly from Screen Rant, so take it with a grain of salt.
Roster. They have a lot. I'm looking at it.
players who purchased the $100 Founders Pack feel scammed. The Founders Pack included 30 character tokens for players to use to unlock new characters that were released. With the announcement of the shutdown, players were only able to use 12 of the 30 tokens given with the Premium Edition.
Because there are more characters to be revealed later.
Reddit post from Rockman BM states that only 12 characters have been released since launch, making the majority of their character tokens rendered useless. The post also mentions there were several free characters released, which also ended up making character tokens but less useful. Obviously, legally, Warner is not obligated to refund anyone.
Right. Yeah, I think this is, for a lot of games, actually, I'm not always pending as long as the game reasonably was there, I don't know if I always think you need a refund. This one, to me, felt like they just ripped people off. Like, twice. But we'll see what happens.
Admittedly, I think the first time around, it was solely cosmetic stuff, so it wasn't like...
But the first time around, it still makes no sense, the whole they were selling things and brought it offline thing.
Well, they had mentioned that, hey, we're taking this down, but your stuff is staying with you. They were very clear about that when it went down after selling stuff, was like, this will come back with your stuff. Now, admittedly, I would have been very skeptical of, like, you know, are they just gonna, because of that, just push shit out here to say that, oh, hey, look, we followed through and released the game, and here's your cosmetics, but the game still sucks ass. So, yeah.
Yeah, continuing down this list, Ubisoft is laying off and closing a bunch of studios. It just keeps happening. I don't know. There's literally been 2 Ubisoft layoffs since the last show, so just kind of keep an eye out. Ubisoft might have studios, they might not, coming out. When AC Shadows doesn't do the sales they mystically need, it's going to be sold anyway. And then finally, this one actually, good story. The Annapurna Interactive kind of collapsed. Who would remember last year? A bunch of the them have kind of taken over and made a new publishing studio. Keep an eye out. So maybe some good things will come from this industry. And then lastly, games that are coming out in 2025. We don't have everything on the list because actually we did get some dates since last time we spoke. Gratefully so. But here are some highlights. Kingdom Comes Deliverance 2 comes out on February 4th. Sid Meier's Civ 7 comes out on the 11th of February. AC Shadows, the game that may or may not sink Ubisoft, claims to come out on March 20th. Avowed March 20th. Did I miss? Was there a delay?
It was Valentine's Day, and then I updated it. Yeah,
that's what I just haven't done the Yeah, that's what it was. That threw me up. Yeah. March 20th. Avowed, just jumping back in dates again, was February 18th. Split Fiction, the Hazelight upcoming game, was on March 6th. Adamfall on March 27th, Void Souls on May 1st, and then Doom Dark Ages. We have a date. It is coming to PlayStation on May the 15th. Doom the Dark Ages is the best game on this list that we're excited for, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Going back to
2016 Doom? Hell yeah.
I don't even think this is a question. That is the game that we want to say about. And then finally, films.
Before we get to films, did you see the people ripping apart the journo that posted Doom footage, Dark Ages footage, and he's like going slowly creeping around corners, and I'm like, dude.
He was doing it like a survivor horror game.
He was playing Doom Dark Ages like he was playing Tarkov.
So here's the thing, though, and I just was genuinely unsure. Was that a journalist truly unaware, or was that a journalist making fun of the whole Doom 2016 thing when that one Polygon journalist didn't know how to play the game?
I think this dude genuinely didn't know.
Because like, when I first saw that, I wasn't sure if it was that or it was more than making fun of that infamous thing.
I mean, the fact that, okay, hold on. I don't want to put this on my Twitter shit. Doom Dark Ages Twitter. No, that's just some God, what would it be? Doom Dark Ages Twitter journalist.
I know what story you're talking about, though.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could find the actual tweet because it did feel like it really does feel like that guy didn't know Doom is meant to be played at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what we're getting back to is just you just press W and left click and you get to the end of the map, I'm so down for that.
So we shall see. I'm excited. Doom Dark Ages, May 15th. I'm just saying.
Also, the story behind it, like, this is set before Doom 2016, supposedly.
It's like apparently lining up to Doom. Yeah, I've seen it. Like, it's kind of like. But you know what I'm actually curious about? Because there's always this problem in these prequel games, right? Is the your growing power problem? How do they control for that? Because naturally people want to feel strong than they did in the other two games, but you can't.
Do you not remember how Doom 2016 opens?
That's fair. Like that is very fair.
Doom guy literally dies. He's in a coffin. There's the solution. It's I think I heard Brad Shoemaker ask the question of like, is this technically a sequel to Doom 2?
Yeah, because so I know Doom 2016 started as Doom 4. Is Doom 2016 canonically like the same Doom line?
So it gets weird with Doom 3 is the problem.
Because Doom 3 is the one that went to they went on the moon or something.
Yeah. So Doom 3 is where the timeline gets a little screwy when you factor in the 2016 and beyond.
Yeah, so we'll see. But no, I am very intrigued. Also, so Doom is something I appreciate and I think needs to be started. It's the only franchise that I think has changed owners fundamentally, but still understands its core principle. Like it was interesting to see John Romero, John Carmack, that whole crew of people. It's been Marty Strand in this like current iteration for like a while now. But like both those respective eras feel like it's an evolution of the same game series versus like different games, where I think that's obviously been a trouble of a lot of long-running franchises.
Yeah, I can see it.
So that's what I want to say. But yeah, otherwise, jumping to films, I saw 2 potential films coming out this upcoming month. I'm open to debate. I saw Captain America: Brave New World, starring Harrison Ford, Anthony Mackie, next in the MCU, or Paddington in Peru. Now, AJ, unless you saw something on the film calendars I did not see, does anything stand out to you?
I'm just looking at the calendars right now.
I'm open if you honestly find something else. I just didn't see much else. Because like April and May we start getting stuff.
Paddington's already out, right? That's why it's not in the upcoming.
Yeah, because it's.
Yeah.
It was like for the first, I think, came out.
Yeah. Well, I think we gotta see Hideo Kojima's film of 2025.
Paddington in Peru.
Yeah, Paddington in Peru.
So that's what it is. So people who aren't aware are being confused maybe why we're talking about being a new film. It came out already in the UK. So that's why if you look at its box office, it's in pounds. It's not actually in USD because it hasn't earned anything yet in USD.
It's in pound sterling, mate.
So it came out in the UK on the 8th of November 2024. Came out in France on the 5th of February 2025, and then the way we goddamn stayed here, on February 14th, 2025 is when it comes in the goddamn United States. Also, then it comes out in Japan. It's very interesting how it literally has no global release. It's just like select markets.
Interesting. It's not listed in the upcomings.
It's 14th for the US, unless I'm like that's what I'm seeing.
The 14th is currently Captain America versus Romeo.
I don't have a screening in my theaters until the 13th. Is the first showtimes I'm seeing.
Okay, I'm just going off of the release calendar on IMDb.
So,
I'm
but
not
yeah.
saying it's wrong. I did get an email that's like, "Hey, do you want to go see Paddington?" And I'm like, I mean, yes, but when?
So that will answer the question. The win will be at some point in the next 4 weeks. And then we will be back to talk about Paddington in Peru before the end of the month. AJ, I want to say thank you for spending this Monday afternoon with me. I don't know about you, we are avoiding apparently the blizzard we're supposed to be getting this upcoming week, so it's going to be nice and smooth sailing here. But otherwise, how's it looking over in the other end of the Lake Michigan?
Well, today was like 38 and raining. So, just
the usual, the world ending.
God, that's right. They're doing a Helm of Razor remaster.
They also doing another
Paddington
Final
in
Destination.
Peru early access is what it's listed as. This is funny. Oh, okay. I see.
Is it like a screener?
It's an early.
Yeah.
It's like the Saturday before or something like that. Yeah,
okay.
The 13th is the first for.
Who is so Pat? So I'm gonna say the thing. I've never seen a Paddington.
Oh, you haven't?
No, like it's a film that
fun, dude.
When they first came out, like I've heard of them, but like it was one of those films I was like, it looks kind of dumb, and then people love them, like they do.
Dude, you will come out of this movie, and from when you get out of the theater until you get on to the first road where you interact with traffic, you will have such a great view of the world. Of like, everything's gonna be great, and then you get into reality and you're like, no, everything's shit. But
that is whatever. I've heard these are like the optimist film.
These movies are just like, you have so much fun. Like, does the story matter? No. Are they hilarious? Absolutely. Why? Because the jokes are written for fucking kids. And nothing is funnier than kids' jokes. Because they have to make them also work for adults. So it's always, double entendres. It's always innuendo. It's always stuff like that. These movies are so fun. You should watch at least.
Yeah, no.
Honestly, you should watch the first two because
this sounds like
gonna pick up.
This sounds like I should watch this on the plane. Watch one each way?
If they have both of them, absolutely.
Some do. Some I could also just always download it on like my tablet or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to be on. Interesting. It's a 1 p.m. Saturday showing is the early screening.
They know the clientele for that film.
Yeah.
But yeah. But that is all we have here for this month. We will see all of you next time. And in the name of Paddington the Bear, go be jolly. I don't know what he says. Does he say something about being jolly, being happy to people? Something like that. Go have a good time.
Go get his marmalade.
Go get your marmalade, and we'll see you next time.